Hello and welcome once again to the Autodesk Ecotec tutorial session. I am Akshay Patel. In the last tutorial we have learned how to create a very basic 3D model. We had constructed the 3D model for the simple house and we installed some of the doors and windows and some lighting or the appliances inside the 3D model. And in this tutorial we'll be learning more about how to assign material properties to the various objects inside the 3D model. So for that we have this black color icon over here. This icon and this icon over here are one and the same. You can use either one of them to access the material library. For assigning the material library, first of all you need to select the wall or the type of object. So let's say I want to assign some material properties to this. I select it and then I click on this icon over here, which gives access to the material library in Ecotec. Here you will have you can see the various types of elements. You can also choose any one of these elements to change. And right now, since it is a vertical surface, you can have it as a wall, or you can have it as a partition wall, or just a panel. But let's say we want to keep it as wall. Then you can choose any one of these type of walls that you have over here. Let's say for example we want to have it as a double brick cavity plaster. So we select it and then we just hit the apply changes button. So this type of wall has now been assigned to this particular surface. Now in case if you want to look more in detail about the material properties associated with this type of wall, so basically you can double click on this and you will see this pop-up menu over here. Again, on the left hand side you have all different types of elements. You have walls, doors, windows and partition walls and stuff like that. You can also change the type of wall from here if you want. Here is a description about the type of wall, and this is the all the elements basically. And then if you want to assign some values for the cost or the greenhouse gas emission and stuff like that, you can do that based on the unit system. Now since it is a wall, we would like to have it a unit area system over here, and then basically you can specify how much it is costing for creating 1 square meter of this wall, and how much greenhouse gas it is emitting, and how much embodied energy it is carrying and stuff like that. And then on the right hand side you have some very specific values associated with that wall. You have the U value, you have admittance, absorption, the visible transmittance and stuff like that. And on the bottom part you can also specify the color, how you want your that object to look like in the 3D model in the visualization mode. So basically you have internal and the external surface over here. These two are separate surfaces. You can change the color for both of them separately, or you can just have one single color for both of them. Let's say for example I want to change the color of the internal surface, so I will click on it and say edit color, and so you will get this pop-up menu over here. And then you hit on this choose color button over here, and now you can choose any particular color from here. Let's say I want to have something like this, and then I click OK. And then we also have a reflectance value over here. This is based on the type of color that you are using. The lighter the color you used, the more will be the reflectance value, and vice versa. And then you have this these two buttons over here. The set color, if you click on the set color button, this type of color that you have chosen will be assigned only to the type of surface that you selected before. Now since we selected internal surface, and if you hit the set color button, only the internal surface color will change and the external color will remain as it is. But in case if you hit this button over here, So the color that you have chosen will be assigned to both the internal as well as the external surface. Let's say I want to assign it on both the sides, so I will click on apply to both sides, and then it just gives us a message that the solar absorption values will be changed. So it's just fine. Say OK. So this is how you basically change the color, and you can also specify some emissivity and roughness and all these values over here. And then in the layers menu over here, you have you can see the cross section of the type of wall that you are using, and these are all various layers that you can have in this cross section. You can customize the layers basically. Right now we have all these 5 layers in this cross section. When we click on any one of these layers, it will get highlighted in the cross section. Let's say now if you want to add one of these layers to this cross section, so we will basically, let's say we want to have acoustic tile layer inside our cross section. So I will select it, I will right click on it, and I will say add to the layers. So now this layer has now been added to this cross section, and in case if you want to change the position of this layer, let's say you want to have it on the inner side, so basically you can just click on the number button over here and you can drag it till the top. So basically this is okay, it is positioned to the exterior side. I would like to have it on the inner side, so this is how you can do it. Now you are having it on the inner side as we wanted. You can also specify the width and the density and the specific heat and all these values over here manually. And then in case if you want to save the changes that you have made to this particular type of wall, you can do that by going to this menu over here, and you can basically save the elements by a particular name. And then in case if you want to access them later on, you can also do that by just loading the elements. And then here you have some properties associated to the acoustics and some properties related to radiance. We won't be going much in detail on these two, but I guess by now we are having a basic idea of how to assign the material properties to the various objects and get it ready for different types of analysis. In the next tutorial, we'll be learning more about how to check the interzonal adjacencies. Interzonal adjacencies is the first step which you need to do before performing any type of analysis. So we'll be going through this in the next tutorial. But for now, thank you and have a good day.